Hey, how do you flip a house? I don't know, but I can tell you how I flip a house. So this Tyler, he's my partner at SW Ventures. We're lifelong buddies. We got started a few years ago. We were both talking, and the first thing I asked Tyler, well, how good is your deadlift if we're going to be flipping houses? In all seriousness, what do we look at when we're flipping a house?
How big of a renovation scope we were willing to undertake, what kind of items could we address, windows, doors, things that we could do to really drive a lot of equity into the house, but do so as budget friendly as possible and as quick as possible. You know, not waiting too much on materials and labor, but and executing it as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
For sure. There's a lot of details, right? To go over and see, okay, do we have the money for it? And can we handle that much work? How are we gonna have enough money to be able to do a house? Well, luckily at the time when we started, we had a good friend, Shannon King, pushing us. So I knew a few people with money, but I had never borrowed that much money in my life, and I was scared to call him. I was scared to say, hey, here's a project we got going on. But when you got people like Tyler, you see how big he is? I can't let this guy down. And you got good friends like Shannon pushing you. I decided, okay, I just got to call. And I called a few of my people with finances, and here's what I realized. And I think this is important for anyone that goes to look at flipping a house, is if you provide value to others, they'll provide value to you. And so I had these conversations and I set things up in a way that would allow my investors to make as much or more money than me. Now, at first that might sound like a bad idea, but I tell you what, it was one of the best things we ever did, and it made the money thing a lot easier. Do you think that's a worry of ours now?
No, I feel confident now that if we find a deal that is profitable, we can fund it.
Now, as we're moving forward, I think the biggest hurdle that we have is how to find the right deal. It's really true what they say, you make your money when you buy and not when you sell.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. I mean, obviously renovating it in a way that keeps within budget is important, but that's fairly easy. You know, we self-perform some of the trades to keep costs down, but really if we can get it for a good price, we know we can make everybody happy on the back end. So
exactly. So I'm going to go over that with you today is how do you find the right deal? What are some of the things that we're looking at? Obviously, the biggest one is we want to make sure we find old homes that have fountains in the middle of them that we can tear out.
Yeah.
When you're flipping a house, it's all about buying at the right price. How do we know if we bought at the right price? Well, let me show you a property that popped up on the MLS, and I'll run you through our process of figuring this out. Is this the best process? I don't know. Is it a perfect process? I don't know. Probably not. But it's the process that we use. And that's what you'll notice as you get started investing in real estate, that it's not always perfect, but it has to point you in the right direction. Okay, so what we do, we have this property here, 553 East Holmes Avenue. It's 3-bedroom, basically 2 bath, and 1,500 square feet. So what we're going to do is we're going to run some comps in that area. So I want to look, before I get into that, exactly where is it? So little star tells us it's on the southeast corner of Southern and Mesa Drive above the 60. So I'm gonna start a little quick search here, and we're gonna look for Southern and Mesa Drive, boom, above the 60. Here we go. Now I wanna keep my comps in roughly the same neighborhood, so I don't wanna cross major roads. Sometimes I'll go here to the satellite view, and you can kind of look and see, okay, are we going into a different neighborhood? Now, would it be unreasonable to include homes over here? Probably not, but the reason I'm not is because Horn is kind of a major road. You can see that divide between these two neighborhoods. And so I want to keep it roughly within the major roads, not crossing any fence lines, keeping it in the same neighborhood. Now, if we can't find comps, not looking for cops, but comps there, then we'll expand. So I want to look at anything that's active, contingent, pending or that has closed in the last 90 days. Boom, so I run that in. Okay, that's giving us 9. Nine's a good start. That can give us a good idea. And we want to make sure that it is single family detached. We also know that our subject property, if we look at the details, is a single family detached 1-story home. So we do not want to compare 2 stories. We have to compare like to like. We can't be going off the rails doing 2 stories and condos, and like it's got to be a similar style. So we go over and we find, of course I can't see it right now. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, approximate square footage. Okay, so we have 1,500, so I will look between 1,000 and 2,000 square feet. And number of interior levels, the max we want is 1. So where does that put us? 9. So that means we're looking at like homes. Okay, let's look at these 9. We pull these up, and we can go through and look at each picture, kind of determine where we are. But what I like to do is real quick, just pull up the statistical buyers, CMA. The most important thing to look at is what has closed, and I look at the averages. So the average close price was $390 and 1,509 square feet. That puts us right in the direction of our home. So I know that this one listed at $250 is likely to sell for $390. Now, this one's listed at $250. You have to pay attention here. That doesn't mean you're going to get it for $250. Multiple offers received. So I imagine to get this home, you're probably going to have to pay about $300. Can you make it worth paying $300 for it and selling it for $390? That will all depend on the repairs. So that's the next step in the process, is looking at, once you determine the ARV or after repair value, which in this case we're going to say is between $390 and $400. Then you have to determine, okay, how much are the repairs going to cost, the holding costs, and the selling costs going to eat into any profits.
In summary, with any flip, the important thing to do is determine what are you buying the house at, what is the after repair value, and then how do holding costs, repair costs, and selling costs fit in to what your overall profit will be. For us, we don't always hit home runs, but what we're looking for is at least a base hit. Now, a base hit might mean, that doesn't mean we take home that, but the business gets at least 15 to 20,000. That's a base hit. We don't like to do those all the time, but having something is better than nothing. So I'm going to take you through this one that we have on Olympic and just kind of show you the condition that we started. All right, so this, if you cannot tell, is our kitchen. No lights, no cabinets, no refrigerator, sweet mold. Oh, you especially need one that has a ceiling caving in. That's a good way to go. Next, we go into the laundry room. Here's our custom fountain. It's looking real good. We're gonna get that torn out today. Look, the bathroom's already going together. Look, there's Marco trying to sneak off. So you can see, you buy a house that needs a lot of work. But when you buy a house that needs a lot of work, you don't want to overpay.